Outside the Lines first report right now.
For a coach and his team, the usual goal of winning last year had to confront the impact of cancer on the lives of two of the team's players. And now, as the players gather on campus for a new season, their coach is also diagnosed with the disease, and he's gathered his players to break this news.
I've been holding it in. I've been trying to figure out how to tell you guys. I was diagnosed with cancer in May.
When I got the news it was him, I really didn't know how to take it.
I just started crying. There's too much been going on over the last year.
Today, Outside the Lines, cancer and a coach and his players.
And now, reporting for Outside the Lines, Bob Lee.
Tyler Jones coaches the basketball team at Division III Concordia University, Chicago, and nearly 4 months ago, his life was changed. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And until last night, none of his players was aware, which is not to say that his team has not been touched by the disease. Last year, 2 of his players had a parent diagnosed with cancer. So as the school year began, the coach reached a decision to inform his players. He invited Outside the Lines to be there for a moment central to him, these young men on his team, and to anyone confronting the disease.
I've been hiding a secret, and it's something that I want to get out there because who knows whom I may empower by sharing this story with others.
I think it's been weighing on him, and it was just the right time to let the guys know what was going on. It'll be good to just have it out there, and so everybody will be in the same loop and everybody knows what's going on. And I think it'll be good for him because all these guys will run through a wall for him, and they'll completely have his back throughout this whole thing.
There's this personal element to it that he wants them to be included in because they're a family, and I think it will bring them closer together.
Something that we've done every year. We've had our team meetings here. Fortunately or unfortunately, the circumstances are a little bit different going into this meeting. Come on in. Come on in. What's good? What's good? What's cooking? Yeah, you guys take your shoes off if you would, please. Hey, what's happening?
Just grabbing a meal before team meeting. Dexter eats pizza and wings, sipping a little Gatorade. Enjoying the fellowship with a guy.
Everybody should try to find a seat. Some seats over here. Transparency. Last season, recap, October 15th, Jake O'Hara comes into my office. Says, Coach, I got some bad news. My dad has been diagnosed with islet cell cancer. Changes things. It changes things when you hear of one of your soldiers that's affected with a parent that's come down with an illness. And it affected the beginning of our season. Well, you get that bit of information, and then 3 days later, your captain comes in, James Morgan, and says, Coach, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. This is all the first week of the season last year. And it really puts things into perspective. With full disclosure, it's a hard day for me because being transparent, I've been keeping a secret from you guys. I was diagnosed with cancer in May. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer on May 11th. And I've been holding it in. I've been trying to figure out how to tell you guys. But trying to figure out how to get fixed, how to get better. And I was nervous, I was scared, and I knew that if I was nervous and I was scared, that I damn sure was going to scare 7 or 8 freshmen if it had leaked out. So I kept it airtight. I said, my goodness, I just, until I couldn't even breathe when I was diagnosed, and it took me about 3 or 4 weeks before I could really exhale and breathe. And I had done my research, and I had let some key people know what was going on. And when I figured out what I was going to do to treat it, I said, I can sit and talk to my guys now. And I can give them some hope and some optimism that I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be good. So this meeting was about giving you information that I'm going to be all right, that I'm going to be in your rear ends at first day of practice like I always have been and always will be. And I wanted to share it with you so that I could maintain my end of this transparency bargain, because I've preached it and preached it and preached it. I want you guys to be upfront with me. And, you know, since May, I've been carrying around a little bit of a secret that it needed to be disclosed.
Hey, bring it in, man. We're going to have a prayer before we leave the table. All right. I'll lead the prayer. Everybody join hands. Everybody bow your head. Dear Heavenly Father, I want you to let everybody know here that you put us through nothing that you know we can't get through. I know, like, once again, as we did last season, that we'll come together like brothers and we'll bond and gel, and we're going to tough it out. We're going to get through this season, and everything going to be fine. We're going to be a product of our coach. Been around every day, continuing his job, even though he got this bad news. So I think that should just be a perfect example for everybody to just work that much harder every day if he can do it being diagnosed with cancer. So let's everybody work hard every day. No practice, get in the gym, do what you got to do, and we're gonna make this work, baby. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.
I was pretty nervous, and that's not my style. I'm usually pretty comfortable in my skin, but I was nervous as I was getting closer to the end of my agenda. The closer I looked at those lines, and they were shrinking down to the point where I was going to tell them that I was sick with prostate. Started to really be careful about my words because I didn't want to scare them.
It just hit me real hard because I see him as like a father figure to me, and he's been like the rock of the team. When I got the news, it was him. I really didn't know how to take it. Like a lot of things went through my head.
I just started crying because there's too much been going on over the last year. You know, like you said, we Fox, so we're a family, so I'm glad he told us together.
A few deer in the headlights, I saw a couple kids kind of drop their heads in their hands, but, still a lot of eye contact. So I looked at a couple of younger players, and they didn't take their eye off me, which was good. And it just showed a sign of strength that some of these kids have. Those guys will have my back just the way that I'll have theirs.